It's Monday, and I'm Lex, and this is Lex Talk Fashion, and this is also Lex Go Every Day. So we have that going for us. I don't know, can you hear me, or should I just hold this? I feel like it's better if I hold it. Anyway, hi. So this week is a very special week because next week I will be in Texas, and it will be a travel week or a travel vlog. There's the word. A travel vlog, and I will be documenting my very short adventure, but it will be for my brother's wedding. So, we're going to talk about weddings. We're going to talk about makeup looks for weddings. We're going to talk about clothes, guest clothes, wedding dresses, and why it's special, why we give a fuck about it. And okay, yeah. So Mondays, Lex Talk Fashion. Wednesday, we're going to do a makeup look very similar to this one. You'll see some of my new favorite products I'm very excited to share with you. And then Friday, we have our lookbook, which will be me trying to figure out what the flip I'm going to wear to my brother's wedding. It's going to be outside, it's going to be hot because it's hot now. So next week, it's going to be even hotter. Yeah, let's get started. So, weddings. Weddings are both wonderful and exciting and extravagant and fabulous and such a fun way when it comes to fashion. But we also need to acknowledge the fact that it is also very patriarchal and very much catering to gendered norms and all this other ish. And if you're new here and you are just hoping for wedding fashion talk, I hope you're not disappointed because here we are all about smashing the patriarchy. And we're going to be talking about how it kind of fucks everything up. But at the same time, um, anyway, so let's talk about the splendor and glamour of weddings. The fashion aspect of it is often called maximalist by design. We have our luxurious fabrics, right? We have what's it called? Lace from Perry and silks from Asia and like all these like jewel encrusted crowns and dramatic silhouettes. I mean, when it comes to the wedding dress, girl, don't even get me started. To me, it's like an opportunity to wear like couture, to be that bitch. You know what I'm saying? Like, that is, when it comes to fashion, this is your opportunity to be as outrageous and extravagant as you want because you're the star, babe. It's all you. And that is, as somebody who loves fashion, like that is what I love about weddings. It's like it is an opportunity to be like, it's me, this is me. Um as someone who is also a feminist, it's also really difficult to kind of like fight with that side of myself to be like, yeah, it's me, but also like, is it me because of the patriarchy? It's just the struggle is real. But here's the thing: as long as you're making yourself happy, that's what really matters. Also, don't let anyone else take away your shine. If somebody's like, I want you to wear this, then no. You wear what you want to wear. Don't wear what you think will make other people happy. Wear what makes you happy, It's not just about looking good with weddings, it's about making that day singularly sacred and larger than life because it is supposed to be a celebration of love. And if life is not about love, then I don't know what the fuck we're doing here because everyone's like, what's the meaning of life? Bitch, it's love. That's literally what it is. Life is about love. Period. The end. That's it. Anyway, bridal gowns. Bridal gowns became popularized by Queen Victoria in 1840, she was the one who kind of started the whole white gown situation, symbolizing purity in all Western cultures. Um, Many other countries and traditions embrace brighter colors. So you have red for the Chinese culture. We have Indian weddings that use red for luck and prosperity. Gold in the Middle East. Not that I know anything about that, but there's a reason why I love gold, and I think maybe. Anyway, so we got the Middle Eastern ceremonies that celebrate with gold and represents wealth. And then for richly patterned kente cloth, that is very traditional in Ghanaian weddings. So that's just for brides. For grooms, we have often more subdued sort of wedding fashion for men, but they can also be extravagant. Uh, think bespoke tuxedos, bespoke meaning like customized exactly to your measurements. Um, Shwanis with Zardozi embroidery. And then, of course, there's the Scottish kilts in the clans. And then almost every culture in terms of wedding also has like incorporated heirloom pieces. So, there's hair wraps and in Western cultures, something borrowed or something blue, right? And it's just all about that tradition. And the level of detail isn't frivolous, it's really just a visual proclamation of heritage, family pride, and personal transformation. And by personal transformation, I mean from being unmarried and a part of one family, and then going and starting your own family with the person that you are marrying. It's a big deal. And now, of course, we have the patriarchal pressures behind the glamour. Um, while wedding fashion isn't just about celebration, it is also a performance of gendered expectations, right? So the bride as a spectacle, the bride is often bearing the brunt of aesthetic scrutiny. And I have been 100% guilty of this. And this is because this is for me, when it comes to fashion, it's very important to me. So I am very guilty of critiquing uh, bride's choices. So if a bride is wearing something that is not what I would consider special or extravagant, or I don't know how else to put it, I there's a part of me that is offended by that. Like I just feel that this is your opportunity to be spectacular, to really just dive into the pieces, the fashion that you absolutely love and adore. And if you don't care about the way you look or the way you present yourself on what is supposed to be, according to the patriarchy, one of the most important days of your life as a couple. I don't know, something about that. But that could just be the patriarchy just manifesting in my own brain. But I also feel like but I'm a fashion person. Like I love fashion and I feel like if you don't care, then like what's the point? Do you know what I'm saying? Like if you don't care and you are not including people that might care, but you're doing it for the people that you think will care, but you're not including them, then what is what's the point? Do you know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I don't know. Like for my wedding, you can see they're all the both dresses are behind me. For my wedding, sorry, this is now crooked. For my wedding, I had two dresses. The dress that was for the ceremony, the Hawaiian ceremony, that dress came from Sicily, and my mother loved that dress. I was not crazy about it. I thought it was very big, and I thought the fabric was a little dated. I loved the rhinestones and the sparkle, but for me, I just felt like it was, I don't know, like it wasn't what I was going for. The second dress was literally the first dress that I ever pinned on Pinterest for my wedding Pinterest. Literally the very first dress. That's crazy. And I found it. And actually, my mom wore that dress in red for the Hawaiian ceremony. So for the religious ceremony, which I did for my family, I could not have cared less about that stuff. But it's whatever. You do what you got to do to make the people you love happy. I wore that dress, and then the big dress that my mother loved, I wore for the ceremony I wanted, the Hawaiian ceremony. That meant a lot to me, and I think was absolutely beautiful and very special. And then just like the white dress, right? This symbol of virginity and how it carries this archaic expectation of purity. And I'm not going to lie, like I waited until marriage. And a lot of people are like, "Oh, that's so noble and that's so good and pure and all this other ish," right? Like to even think that, oh, sorry, to even think that for me, I just feel, I don't know, like there's like a superiority complex that some people have, like this purity culture, and it's only set on women, and it just infuriates me because nobody ever like praises a man for waiting until marriage. Do you know what I'm saying? I mean, Sean did. Wait, we both did. But like nobody praised him for waiting. And I just feel like this idea, this purity ish, wearing white because of that symbolism of virginity. I just, it's just gross, you know? Like it's just so archaic and gross when you like really think about it, you know? Ugh. Anyway, groom's fashion is generally secondary. Um, Far less scrutinized. There's just that reinforcement of the idea that the wedding is the bride's day, right? And thus her responsibility. But I will say, I made sure that Sean and all of the boys looked immaculate and amazing, just like I made all of my girls look amazing. But I found dresses that they all looked spectacular in. I made sure that the suits they got fit them all beautifully. Like none of that like ill-fitting bullshit. These guys were gonna go into my wedding looking amazing. Like, because I wanted everyone to feel special and feel great. Like that was important to me. Um, Not only that, there's like this pressure of having the perfect wedding, and it always falls on the woman, right? The bride. The bridal industry, of course, capitalizing on this idea. The average wedding dress, I don't know if you're aware of this, the average wedding dress in America costs between $1,800 and $3,000, um, while the groom's outfit is generally half of that. It's crazy, right? Like crazy. So, and that's essentially what my dresses were. Like, it's wild. Anyway, I just like on top of all of that, there's these heteronormative practices, traditions, like many wedding customs. There's the veil, right? The revealing of her, being given away, um, or the father daughter dance. It's just like this reinforcement of ownership and the transfer of women between families. And I think the reason why, because I also have a film business, and we've done what mostly hetero weddings, but we have done a few queer weddings. And what I really liked about them was there was no like giving away, the the heteronormative traditions were not in queer uh, weddings, and I really loved that because I think that um, it just emphasizes how patriarchal and archaic weddings are, especially against women. Despite these pressures and this archaic way of thinking about weddings and women and all this other stuff, people still cling to wedding fashion, white dresses and stuff, as a form of joy and self expression, which I can understand. And I understand it because a wedding is a rite of passage. It is throughout most cultures, it is definitely one of the few universal things that is considered a milestone, a life milestone. So, dressing extravagantly um, marks the before and the after, right? A visual rebirth of the new family that you have become or are creating for yourself. There's the con- continuity of culture as well. So, wearing traditional garments, it connects a person to their heritage and their ancestors, their history. Um, it's just another way to connect the ancestral family to the new family that you're creating. So, and I can understand the importance of appreciating that history and how you came to be, right? And where you are today. There's a bit of defiance and reclamation for many brides and grooms to reject some norms when it comes to fashion, right? To wear pantsuits or black dresses, something that is unique and different and even like non-binary styling, right? Um, I think is a way that fashion can allow people to kind of break the norms and break the tradition in a fun and unique way. And then, of course, there's the power of fantasy, right? So, for this one day, people get to be the main character that, in a way, everyday life doesn't allow for them. So, I can understand the tradition, the want to continue these, um, you know, ideas and ideals of a traditional wedding. So I get it. So, what we need to remember about weddings is that it is more about the celebration than the conformity of what a wedding tradition can have and the expectations, right? So, wedding fashion is a contradiction, right? It is both a joyous celebration of love and identity while also reinforcing outdated patriarchal structures. But as society evolves, hopefully, although it doesn't feel like it is, but hopefully we'll get there. Maybe not in my lifetime, maybe in another country. I don't know. But as it evolves, so do weddings. And more couples are choosing outfits that reflect equality. Um, they reflect personal meaning. And of course, especially for myself, radical expression of who they are over tradition. And so, wedding fashion isn't just about looking opulent, it's about claiming the day on your own terms, whether that means a 20-pound beaded gown, a sleek jumpsuit, or a custom bespoke suit, right? Um, the clothes become armor and art, and it is declaring this is who I am, and this is what this day means to me. And that's why I love weddings, because you can be as outrageous as you want to be. And the most important thing is that it's your day and your choice, and um, that's what it's all about. What makes you happy on the happiest day, and then to many more happier days. I would love to hear your thoughts. Are there any specific cultural traditions or fashion trends that you are drawn to or that you specifically do not like? Um, I always kind of fantasized of having a blush gown or just one that is completely encrusted in rhinestones. Shocking, I know. But yeah, my dresses were all white. But I got married when I was all about tradition and making my family happy. And um, yeah, so because that was important to me. Um, Making the people that I loved um, proud and happy, no matter what. But now I have boundaries, and I realize that my happiness is also just as important. So, lessons have been learned. Anyway, thank you so much for spending time with me today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you tomorrow. And Friday, no, wait, Wednesday, we'll do our makeup, and then Friday, I will try and figure out what the flip I'm gonna wear to my brother's wedding. Please help me. But yeah, let me know in the comments below what you love about weddings, what you hate about weddings. And yeah, until next time.